Welcome to the All Financial Hour podcast with Steve All.
You know, Steve, you often tell us that we're nearing retirement. We should take our foot off this risk pedal in our portfolio. But really, at what age do we consider this? Christine Benz weighs in here. She's from Morningstar. She thinks it's somewhere maybe after the age of 50.
When we look at the data on when people retire, when they think they'll retire relative to when they actually do retire, we see there's a disconnect that oftentimes people are thinking they will hang on longer than they are able to do or want to do. And so I think at age 50, you do want to start de-risking your portfolio a little bit, not altogether, because you could have 45 or more years where you are still going to be wanting to grow that portfolio. But as you move into sort of your late 50s, early 60s, I like the idea of building a bulwark of safer assets.
All right. I mean, I see what she's saying here after 50, but I also kind of think that's a little young. I mean, is there an age timeline, Steve? And I guess what kind of safer assets can de-risk a portfolio?
Well, I think the idea around it is where are you currently at? I think you got two pieces. One, current age, when you do plan to retire, and we have to figure out what assets that you currently have. I think always returns should be based on need, not greed. I think that's the biggest thing that people can get caught with. All of a sudden, they're doing really well, and they get this, I need to hit this number in my head. And they take more risk than they really need to be taking at that time. Are they open to it? Yes. But do they need to take the risk? So we look at a couple different sides on that. We can look at it on the investment side. There are things called structured notes. They're all not designed the same, so be careful on that. I like the principal protected notes if we're going along something like that. And then right now, the rates are still a little higher. They are going to drop. CDs, money market accounts, a bond portfolio, putting a bond portfolio to just take the interest off the bonds, or a dividend portfolio. So those are some of the things on the investment side that you could do it with. Now let's go to the other side of the equation, the insurance side. A fixed annuity. A fixed annuity looks a lot like a CD in a bank. They're going to give you a set rate for a set amount of time, and it grows tax deferred if it's in a non-qualified account. Fixed indexed annuity, your money's not at risk in the market. It participates if the market goes up, but it has a floor of zero. And for that floor of zero, there's going to be restrictions on the other side of it. Might be caps, could be participation rates, and it could be spreads. So you really have to understand them. And you really need to figure out, am I going just for principal protection? Because that's a whole lot different than an income-producing annuity. Big difference between the two. So if you're unsure how much risk you're actually taking, give us a call. Ask for that risk-reward analysis. Let us look at your situation. Find out, are you taking more risk than you should be at this time? And give you a better idea around where you are in that retirement journey to find out, do you need to continue to take the risk? Give us a call now. Ask for that risk-reward analysis.
That risk-reward analysis, folks, a great way to see exactly where and how your position is your money working for or against you, quite frankly. Give a call today for this risk and reward analysis, 636-230-8824. Again, that phone number is 636-230-8824 and online at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Economist Alicia Munnell, she's said to be one of the nation's experts on retirement. And when she was asked about the key to a successful retirement, she said, don't retire. While admitting that her advice doesn't work for everyone due to maybe health issues and what have you, she insists working as long as you possibly can and getting to the top of Social Security payment means that you're going to have a shorter time to support yourself. Weigh in on this for me.
I think everybody's situation is different. We've got Alicia that says, don't retire. One of a book I absolutely love from Bill Perkins is Die with Zero. It's like, do you have too much money? Have you gotten all the experiences out of it? Are you working so that more assets are just going to be left for somebody else? And I think that's one of the big things when we get into retirement planning, because almost everybody has that fear of, will I run out of money? I do not want to be a burden to my children. So we keep money and we just keep building and building and building. Well, Pam and Alex were in the office. They had built a great portfolio. And they're looking at it and they still have that, quote, fear of running out of money. What if we have the long-term care exposure? The same thing a lot of y'all have got when it comes to that. But we have to look at it. Is the income off of your portfolio going to be greater than what you're spending? Is it going to continue to rise during your retirement years? If that's true, I look at to the point of sitting there saying, if my children are going to be my heir, why not give it to them now if I've got that much?
Makes sense.
Why not give it to them? If I'm going to give it to charities, I'm sure the charities could use it now more than they can someday in the future when you're no longer here. And I think that's where you got to get that added peace of mind. People say, well, Steve, what if I have a long-term care exposure? Let's look at long-term care insurance. There's insurance for these types of things. That way you get that over that fear of running out of money or being a burden to your children. So both ways, work forever, die with zero. I believe almost all of us are somewhere in between that. If you're not sure where you're at, call. Ask for our comprehensive retirement plan so we can look at it the fact of saying, do you need to start gifting now, or can you start gifting now, or do you need to continue to save more? Give us a call. Ask for the comprehensive retirement plan.
And this comprehensive retirement plan is yours. It is complimentary, but only if you call today. 203-636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. You can also visit the website yourmoneymattersstl.com. When you get to be 73, the government forces you to take money out of your 401ks and IRAs. It's called an RMD, otherwise known as a required minimum distribution. And according to a study by J.P. Morgan Chase, over 80% of people don't touch their IRA money until RMD age, and then only take the money that the government tells them to. Some say this is a mistake. Steve, what do you think?
The idea around it of it is RMDs used to be at 70.5. Then the, quote, Secure Act came along and started pushing those RMD ages back. A lot of people are not affected by RMDs. They're already taking the money out of their account. If your RMD's $10,000 and you've already taken 12 just to live, you don't have to take any more. So the idea, and what they did is, in my opinion, they built a tax time bomb. When we put all this stuff together, they said, you can spend it during your lifetime. You all pass away, you can give it to their children, and your children can stretch it over their lifetime. The Secure Act came along in 2020 and said, nope, not anymore. They have to get it out in 10 years. So they've created a tax time bomb for our children. Remember, required minimum distribution does not say required minimum spend. You can do more with the money. You can give it to your children. You can do a whole lot of other things that happen when those things come into play. But I believe that reducing or eliminating taxes in retirement is the greatest thing that you can do. And to avoid that tax time bomb, I'm looking at it, the average 401k's got about maybe 180 to 190 for a family. So if you've got an extra large between 250 and 750, depending on the number of children you have in your lifestyle, you might spend that down during your lifetime. If you've got between 750 and 1.5 million, a double X, you might not spend it down. You might pass that on to your children. And if you've got a triple X, 1.5 or more, chances are you will pass a tax time bomb on to your kids. And like I said, I believe that reducing or eliminating taxes in retirement is the best thing you can do for a successful retirement. So if you're not sure where you're at, give us a call. Ask for that tax analysis to find out if Roth conversions might be advantageous for you with yours so that you don't have to worry about the RMDs quite as much. Give us a call.
And you can give Steve and the team a call today, 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Again, that's for that tax analysis. The phone number, yourmoneymattersstl.com. All right, Steve, so a friend of mine recently sent me this Instagram post that talked about various fears or phobias. You know, like the things like if you're scared of spiders, it's arachnophobia, right? I mean, those kind of things.
Yeah, just don't bring me around snakes. I don't like snakes.
Oh, you have a phobia of snakes.
Yeah, I don't like snakes. I don't. You know, I had a buddy that had a snake, and it was like, you know, well, they're not slimy, and I said I don't care. I I don't like snakes.
I don't either.
When Harrison Ford was in the original Raiders of the Lost Ark, when he said, I don't like snakes, I knew exactly what he was talking about. I hate snakes. I don't even care. They can be little bitty snakes. I don't like them.
You're not about it. Okay, well, now I know.
Little gardener snakes in the yard. I still don't like them.
I'm with you.
Matt, there's a snake in the yard. I didn't even mess around with them things. I don't like them.
I don't either. I'm with you there. Well, there's something called plutophobia. You want to take a guess of what that means? Plutophobia.
Fear of space.
Ooh, good guess. Pluto, obviously. Believe it or not, it's actually the fear of money. You're fearing what is in your wallet. I went down a rabbit hole here and, of course, read that this can all manifest during retirement when it comes to the fear of spending your savings, right? A lot of folks are going, well, am I going to blow through my entire savings, my life savings? So what can you do? What tool can you implement to help increase that certainty there?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we have is most of the people that have come in and chat with me, they've spent their lifetime saving money. They did what they were told to do. Put back money for your own retirement. And now the job ends. They're not bringing in the paycheck anymore. So they're looking at it and going, I still have to save money. And I think that's a completely different mindset. Creating wealth is one thing. Spending it down is another. And you do have the people that it's like, no, you do not have to save that check in retirement. And I know I've got clients out there. I joke with one that, hey, if I told these folks they had to cut their expenses by $1,000 a month in 2 months, they would do it. But I've got the other ones that they're not going to, they're spend it. They go, I've saved my entire life. This is very uncomfortable for me to do that. And I think the thing that makes that as simple as possible is when that question gets answered, how am I going to replace my paycheck when I retire? And I think that's where we have to look at it. And that's where that income planning comes in. And there are a couple different ways to do it. You could, the old 4% rule, take your money out of your nest egg, take out about 4%, and you should be okay. You could also invest in dividend-paying stocks, bonds. Take the income off of that. Now, the value of those could go up and down to affect it, but it's not quite guaranteed. What I like, if there's a gap, I like to look at an annuity with an income rider on it. Why? Because then I've shifted the exposure off to an insurance company. Because once I turn on that income stream, and it can be for just my life if I choose, or for me and my wife if I choose. And that income, once I turn that income on, is going to come for the rest of both of our lives. Now, the guarantee is, again, from the insurance company, but that's where I like to look at it. How am I going to replace that? And I think that's the part that most people miss. I get people that come into the office and they say, well, what is the income plan that you're currently looking for in your retirement? I don't really have one. My advisor says, we'll just take money out of the account. And I think that's the part that's probably missing the most. And what was it? Plutophobia is the fear of money.
Plutophobia, yeah.
Yeah, that plutophobia can come in at that time because if I'm not going to know where my income's going to be coming from, that's going to create the fear. And I think that's the part of the plan that most people are the most interested in. Yeah, they want to know about allocation of their assets and how they should be invested. They want to talk about taxes and legacy, long-term care. They want to talk about all those things too. But the big one is, how am I going to replace my paycheck? So if you're thinking about how you're going to replace your paycheck, give us a call now. Ask for the income plan and ask what a personally funded pension could do for you.
Thanks for listening to the All Financial Hour podcast.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business All Insurance Group, LLC, AIG. All Financial Group, LLC is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by All Insurance Group, LLC, AIG are not subject to investment advisory requirements. IPW and All Insurance Group, LLC, AIG are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This radio show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. All Financial Group, LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by All Financial Group, LLC.
This radio show is intended for information purposes only.